Here we go. Come on. Shantae, we live.
All right.
Episode 59. How was everyone
Back for
doing?
another one.
I know we don't start with music. We need original music now. We on YouTube, so
Artists, if you have original music, send them over. Send it over so we can give y'all a shout out every episode. Yeah,
facts.
that's a good point, Brittany, because we do usually start with music and it be feeling off a little bit because we not starting it with it. So yeah,
Right.
we need original music now.
Yeah, so send those joints in. DM us or send it to the 21 titles at gmail.com.
Please.
At Gmail, excuse me. I'm over here like it's a website. But here we are, episode 59, another 21 titles recap. This is the 21 titles newsroom. That's what we feel like going with for now. All right. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. That helps us greatly. Right now, just go subscribe and hit that notification bell. Okay. You even see it down at the bottom. Subscribe to our YouTube page. All right. But as always, thank you everyone for your time. It's 7 p.m. on a Sunday. We know you got a lot of things to do to get ready for the week, but we would love, obviously, your attention. Every week we come in and do these lives now to keep our community in the know. You know, we really feel like the next generation of student athletes is going to blow it out the water. And we want to serve them in the way as helping them to develop their professional and personal development. So we love to come on here and talk sports. We're both former collegiate athletes. Um, NIL deals, right? Kids get to monetize their name now, which is a dream for anybody who has
Hmm.
been a collegiate athlete. The kids are now getting paid to play basketball or to play the sport that they would normally just do for free. Okay. So we talk about that. We also talk about tech, what's going on in Web3, what's going on in business, and we kind of wrap up with culture. So again, we've made the migration from IG to YouTube. So please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page so that you can continue to get this valuable information. And please pass this along to any student athlete, coach, athletic director that you may know.
Yep.
Let's get it popping.
Let's get it. Starting off with sports news. There's a lot to cover this week, and I'm sorry y'all hearing New York in the background for sure.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, but Pittsburgh, like I don't know if you want to talk about your trip to Pittsburgh before we jump into it, but nonetheless, the NBA and the WNBA are actually looking into potentially expanding um into Pittsburgh. They're trying to see if it's a feasible spot for a professional basketball team. And so this past week on Thursday, um, the Sports and Exhibition Authority was approved $90,000 to consult a consultancy agency to see if Pittsburgh would be a great place to start an NBA and WNBA team.
Right.
I would love for you to chime in, Brittany, if you want, about how you
Yes.
feel about Pittsburgh, it being a potential place to for the WNBA and the NBA to expand.
Absolutely. Pittsburgh is a sports town. To be quite honest, their sports teams have brought in many championships, from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Um, I think maybe the Pittsburgh Pirates are the only team who hasn't won a championship for one of the major Pittsburgh teams. But Pittsburgh, the obviously the Steelers, they have 6 championships,
Hmm.
but it is a sports town. I lived in Pittsburgh for at least 3 years. I went to culinary school there, and I think it's a great town, especially if you're trying to bring in another sports team.
Yeah,
I was kind of just talking to my husband the other day and saying, like, yo, we need a property in Pittsburgh because if they finna bring a team, that means more people are gonna be coming. That means more
absolutely.
traffic is gonna be happening in Pittsburgh. So I think it would be a great potential spot for another team. Um, but what we talked about is the WNBA really ready for another team, right? Because we talk about all the stuff that they need to fix, right? So
Shout
it's
to
like,
K Dot. Shouts to K Dot.
shouts
we
to
going
K Dot.
we gonna get into the CBA. I'm pretty sure probably this week, but I don't know if they ready for that. I think that obviously we're seeing a crazy uptick in viewership when it
Right.
comes to women's sports in general. And this is a great time to take advantage of that, but or to move forward with the momentum. But there's a lot I think the WNBA needs to address um, prior to expanding, or rather making or patching up some loose ends before moving forward with expansion. But
Right.
that's a good question.
But
We're gonna
yeah,
talk about it.
I love if they do decide to have that as a location because I think
Yeah,
Pittsburgh is deserving of that. It'll definitely bring in dollars for sure. I mean,
yeah,
the University of Pittsburgh is doing very well right now. Their volleyball team has been to a Final Four in the past 3 years consecutively. Their men's team is doing pretty decent right now. They've come back. As of late, a resurgence has happened in Pittsburgh. And just today, Pittsburgh women had Syracuse on the ropes. So I
majority of
think
the game too.
right. But I think Pittsburgh is on the up and up, and I like this.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, there'll be some positive results from
Right.
this. We'll see. Um,
Facts.
yeah, and then this week we got some news that overtime was gonna start a league. It's gonna
Mhm.
be a women's basketball focused league that's gonna take place in Atlanta for 4 weeks. So Overtime has started a tournament or league by the name of Overtime Select. As I just mentioned, it's going to be a 4 week league for elite high school girl basketball players across the country. And it's going to be taking place this year at OTE's Arena in Atlanta.
Mhm.
Um, it's going to be 8 teams that are going to be competing. And there's also going to be a takeover weekend component featuring an all-star game and then the queen of the court competition and 3-point contest. So it's gonna be action packed. And again, we're gonna have the top players in the country tapping in, and they're gonna be in Atlanta. And what I think is the most important thing to highlight is that for this league or this tournament, there are going to be advisors,
Mm.
and these advisors are going to be from the WNBA, as well as from college hoops. So we have Simone Augustus. I'm just going to name a few people that are going to be mentoring. You got Florjay Johnson, Haley Jones, Brianna
Mm.
Stewart. Like, you're going to be around the best of the best over here mentoring you throughout the entire time, or mentoring these young women the entire time they're participating in this league.
Right.
And on top of that, they're gonna have on-site business summit, which is something that Brittany and I have talked about forever, for such a long
Oh
time, and
man.
often, how important this is, right? Like, there are gonna be financial literacy courses, there's gonna be PR and marketing courses, and This is great again for not only college athletes but high school athletes, and it's really
Right.
important to get this information to them super early, so that they know how to better navigate this NIL space. So this sounds like an amazing opportunity. There's also going to be mental health resources available too to help the players. So it seems like overtime is covering every spot possible for
Yeah.
these young women so that they can thrive when they enter college, and then even before that, even now, so that they can really take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of them now.
Right.
So this is going to be a really big deal. I mean, OTE's arena is huge. Brittany, you've
Right.
been there. Um, so this is going to be a really big deal.
And you know what? It's about time, right? I feel like we've always said, women's sports is really on the uptick. It's on the crescendo,
Yeah.
and we need more leagues to kind of showcase the talent. Um, you know, we have aspirations, y'all, to eventually do showcases and all these things. Player development training for the girls as well. Like these are our long term goals, essentially, because we feel like um, the essence of what basketball is, it comes down to fundamentals. And what we
Hmm.
see now is like a loss and lack thereof of those things. So instead of me continuing to bash or like adding to the criticism, I would like to help, essentially. And in those ways. But this is super elite that Overtime decided to do this because it, like you said, it gives them a glance into what a professional athlete looks like, or the lifestyle of a professional athlete looks like. And you're getting so many resources that student athletes have not been privy to in the past, right? We talking about financial literacy, we talking about media training, we talking about public relations. All these different things are extremely important to your brand now, because that's what you are. You're a walking brand, even more so than ever. And there is an air that you have to carry yourself with. You have more of a responsibility now in this generation. Um, and I love seeing things like this. I would wish more leagues would pop up, especially for high school girls. We've talked about this. Even you hear Chanae Jones, who was the founder of Grow Our Game, talk about how girls in sports between the age of 12 and 14 are 2 times more likely to drop out than boys, right? Um, and that's absurd to me, because sports was my entire foundation as a kid. Like that's where I learned discipline. That's where I learned commitment. That's where I learned um, delayed gratification. So shout out to Overtime Select, and I look forward to seeing more things pop up like this.
Yes, absolutely. Shouts to them. It's a big deal. Um, moving on to WNBA news. ESPN has signed a multi-million, excuse me, not multi-million, but it may
Multi-year.
seem, I'm sure it is multi-million, but
Right, right.
um a multi-year broadcast rights renewal with Athletes Unlimited, the network of professional women's sports league. Shouts to Athletes Unlimited. They're doing the work
Yes.
for women's sports in general, as a
Yes.
whole, not just basketball, but all sports as a whole. I believe that Athletes Unlimited, their women's basketball is set to begin February 28th or 29th.
29th, my birthday, baby.
Yeah. um in Dallas. So I'm looking forward to that. But the contract that ESPN has with Athletes Unlimited, again, it's a renewal. And so this deal is for all four sports. So it's basketball, softball, lacrosse, and volleyball. And this is the first time they're getting all four sports under this renewal. I mean, under this contract. More
Right.
than 70% of the games will be distributed on linear TV. So that's like regular cable, regular TV, with remaining games featured on ESPN Plus. At least 70 live games from Athletes Unlimited will air exclusively on ESPN platforms in 2024, which I'm super excited about. ESPN will also have international rights for Athletes Unlimited competitions to show on TSN in Canada,
Mm,
ESPN Latin America, and other platforms. So they're reaching a ton of new audiences, which is great for Athletes Unlimited. And again, this partnership begins later this month in February. And yeah, like I mentioned, Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball is going to tip off on February 29th at Fair Park Coliseum in Dallas. So definitely tune in. There's no reason for you not to now that, again, they're back under the realm of ESPN. So you'll definitely have an opportunity to catch the games. But this is a major win for Athletes Unlimited. And we're seeing just how creative people are in creating different leagues and opportunities for women's sports outside of what's been provided to us for a long time. So I mean, obviously we have the WNBA, but this also provides these women to find other ways to get money
yeah.
outside of the WNBA. So shouts to Athletes Unlimited. I'm looking forward to watching these women compete.
Look,
And yeah.
y'all better get it right because WNBA, which y'all app, League Pass was really traca this year, last season. Okay? Was really bad. Okay? So I'm happy to see that they got this deal with ESPN so that we can see the game because obviously ESPN is one of the most reputable sports broadcasting channels ever, right? Like, thank you.
Right.
Okay? Some players that I'm really excited to watch in the basketball portion of Athletes Unlimited. Shout out to my girl Essence Carson. All right.
Shouts to
Essence
Essence.
Carson. Still out here getting it
Hooping.
done. Still out here
Hooping.
hooping with your old self,
Mm-hmm.
with your old bones. Yes, I said it, Essence. You old girl. All right.
She's
Shout out
still
to
competing.
she's still competing. She'll give you a bucket on your head, all right? So don't take her lightly. Just because she old bone, she still give you buckets, all right? Don't do it. Don't do it. Tia Cooper, like how
Yeah.
y'all let her out the WNBA? Y'all
I don't
crazy.
know. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to her too. To seeing her hoop.
Lauren Mincy, I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to seeing Lauren Mincy, former Maryland basketball player. She's in New Jersey, another New Jersey legend. Like looking forward to seeing all of y'all play. Obviously, there's a lot of heavy talent. You got Lexi Brown, Natasha Cloud.
Yo,
It's
that's my
heavy. It's,
girl.
that's Shantae's girl for real. If we
I
could
love
get a
Natasha
Natasha
Cloud.
Cloud, Shantae, meet and greet, that would be
I
lovely.
love
20,
Natasha
we would
Cloud.
love it. Okay, we here. All right, Natasha, we need you on the show. All
We
right,
do.
because we absolutely love the fire and passion that you bring to the game. Like every game, I can count on Natasha Cloud to come full throttle and give it her best.
Mm-hmm.
Like give it her all.
For
Okay,
sure.
so really looking forward to watching those ladies compete. And thank you to ESPN for giving these women a deal because I
Come on.
was going crazy trying to figure out where I was gonna watch this at.
Yeah,
Like
and it's crazy. We gotta really go looking for these games.
digging.
Mm-hmm. Even
Like,
on the
can
college
you
tip.
talk about college? Like, we
Yeah,
got.
yo. Even on the college tip, y'all don't even know. Like, I'm sure. Actually, no. I'm sure y'all do know. If y'all watch college hoops, it's like, first of all, I need multiple TVs to watch all the games. I mean, that's a good problem to have
Right,
because the games are being televised. But it's like one game be on
right.
Peacock, another game be on ACC network, another game be on the Big Ten network,
Pac
another
12.
game be on. It's it's like We
much.
need these game. Yeah, it is too much. We're gonna get into that, but yeah, it's the TV media right side be crazy when it comes to these games, and yeah, I'm glad that Athletes Unlimited is under ESPN, so we could just watch the games there. So
Right.
shouts to Athletes Unlimited, and I didn't know they started this in 2020. It's very, very, very early, very new,
Yeah.
company
Isn't
doing the
Natasha
work.
Cloud one of the founders? Isn't
I
she a
think
founder?
so. I believe so.
She was, she was thinking of the exit plan before the, like, yeah,
You
I'm gonna
gotta think
figure
of
it out.
not plan B, but like it's either you're gonna just let things be or you're gonna do something about it. And
Right.
you
Hold
know,
on. Talking about domestic leagues, where's Unrivaled? We ain't hearing no
I
other
don't know.
information about
I don't know.
Breonna Stewart and Fee. Fee, where y'all at? Y'all gonna give us some intel?
I'm sure they working. Hopefully it's soon.
Like we
I'm gonna
ain't
do my
hearing
due
nothing,
diligence. I
Shantae.
haven't heard. Yeah, I haven't heard from them in a little bit. It's been a little bit. I'm gonna do my little due diligence though to see if there's been any new announcements about it. But um, hopefully it's
Okay.
still on the way. Hopefully it's still on the way. It's needed.
I hope so. Like, come on, cause
Yeah.
y'all need some fresh faces, and we looking real nice. All right, y'all need some commentators and some writers and stuff. Come on,
Come
let's
on.
go. Yeah, I'm putting myself out there. Yes, this is a plug. This is a plug. Anybody's has
Shameless.
any
Shameless.
affiliations?
Shameless
Anyone
plug.
has any affiliations with Unrivaled? Please
Holla at your girls.
holla. Okay,
We're here to support.
thank you.
But yeah, no, that's a good point. I haven't heard anything either. Hopefully it's on its way. We'll see. We'll keep y'all posted on that. Um, so let's talk about college hoops a little bit. It's been a lot of basketball. Not just today, all week. We're nearing the end of like regular season college
Yes,
hoops,
yes.
and we're headed into conference play. So it's getting I'm not gonna hold you like I'm really calm right now. I look calm, but I'm not. Cause it's like I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm hyped. Because it's
Hmm.
been a ton of great basketball. And before we get into anything, Brittany and I was talking about how I know like South Carolina is everybody's favorite. I
Yeah.
just can't say that I don't know who's going to win the national championship right now. I'm gonna say that. I'm going on record in saying I don't know who's going to win the national championship if it were today.
Right.
If the tournament were to begin today, excuse me. Because it's just too many great teams and too many young women hooping. And every day we're seeing an upset. We're seeing players get more refined
Right.
the deeper
Facts.
we get into this season. And it's like, and you mentioned this earlier, like, I too love the fact that women's hoops are unpredictable right now. Women's college hoops, you don't know who's going to win on a day-to-day basis. You don't know who's going to show up. It's a toss-up. And this is what makes this season great because, for the past decade, we've had the UConns, we've had the same teams winning, but that's not the case
Right.
anymore. These young women are competing, and so I say like to say I'm just very excited to see conference play. Um, I think the Pac-12 is crazy. Watch out for the Pac-12. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch out for them teams in the Pac-12. They are nothing to play with. Um, but anyway, let's get into JuJu Watkins. She played today. They played against Utah. They lost to Utah. Utah showed up big today, which was a little.
Right.
I thought USC was going to leave with the win, but they did not. Nonetheless, this week USC beat Colorado, who was was a favorite of mine very early in the season. I still like Colorado, but nonetheless, USC beat Colorado this week, 87-81. It was a very chippy game. Juju left with 42 points though. She
Yeah.
left with 42, and she grabbed her 11th 30th point game, and she passed Miller, her USC record for 30-point games in a season. So just want to
Girl,
give shit. I mean, shots to Juju. Like,
look, I'm sure. Look, if you haven't watched this young lady play, you're doing a disservice to yourself. To be quite honest, she might be Big 12 freshman, Pac-12 freshman of the year, and also get Pac-12 player of the year. Like,
for sure,
that's how great she's playing. Like,
hooping
oh my
on both
goodness.
ends too. On both
Right.
ends. Let me be
Right.
clear. Like,
Yeah.
getting steals, getting blocks.
She doing what she needs to do. Okay. And y'all need to watch this young lady.
Yeah.
I know it's difficult to get Pac-12, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a chance to watch this young lady at some point in the tournament because they're ranked and they're gonna get placed somewhere. So even if y'all watch the tournament and watch her play, y'all gonna be in for something spectacular because this is a consistent thing with this girl. Like, I just can't wait to watch her in person, man. I really
No,
can't.
same. She's been showing up, and she's even the team's more lethal when she's supported with the rest of her teammates, and I'm realizing a lot more of them have been stepping up as of late. So that's also a good sign towards the end of this season, regular season. Um, but nonetheless, today's game, Alyssa Peely, she came to play. She left with 23 points for the game. She had 9 rebounds. Alyssa Peely, I don't know how much. Like, we talk about her often on and off lives.
Right.
But she always shows up too. Always super calm. Demeanor's super calm. She literally just comes in and does what she needs to do. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's it. And you know what I learned in that short? She's gonna be part of the documentary about NIL, I believe, with Amazon or something like that. Something coming out. I seen a clip on social media, but
Okay.
she is one of 9, I believe.
Yeah, it's a lot of siblings.
Ooh.
She has a huge family. Big
Huge
family.
family, okay?
Hmm.
And she was just talking about the impact of NIL and helping her family and being able to help be obviously someone who can help her
Yeah.
parent. And I thought that was phenomenal. To be one of 9 is wow. That's a big family for sure.
Yeah.
So, whew.
Yeah. She showed up today though. But yeah, be on the lookout for JuJu Watkins. I don't know how you can be on the lookout for her because she's in
She
headlines every
everywhere.
week. Yeah, and somebody needs to give her an NIL deal. I'm saying this now for hair products because JuJu's hair is always slicked back in that bun. Not a strand be out of place. So y'all hair gel companies, hair
Yeah.
product companies, y'all need to holler at JuJu and then also give a shout to 21 Titles when you do that because
Facts.
that's a great opportunity. Like,
Facts.
holler at JuJu Watkins, please. Do us a favor.
Do it.
But moving on, we had LSU play against Tennessee today. LSU beat Tennessee 75-60. Listen, LSU has had their woes throughout the season. They lost some players,
Mm-hmm.
they had injuries, they had just a lot of public issues. Issues come to the forefront come to the public early on in the season. Everyone was questioning like how are they going to gel? Because they looked a little, they've been working through the kinks throughout the
Yes.
season, and they've been developing slowly. But we've, oftentimes talked about Haley Van Lith, her transition from Louisville to now LSU, having to play the point guard. That's not her natural position. She's used to playing the two, and she's had a rocky start. I'll
Right.
say that. She's had a rocky journey. I don't even want to say rocky. She's just been transitioning into a new role, and it has shown. But she
Right.
has remained consistent. And again, like, she's never negatively spoke about her having to transition into being a point guard. She has fully embraced it. She was like, "Yo, I'm here to learn. I'm taking this game by game, day by day, so I could be the player that my team needs me to be." And today is the first time that I can say that I've seen Haley Van Lith look super comfortable since transferring to LSU.
Right. Yeah.
She showed up today. She was looking like old Haley Van Lith today. She was being
Right.
aggressive on offense. She just picked the perfect pocket every time on O. And she had a season high today of 26 points. Her
She was
shooting
looking good
percentage,
today.
her shooting percentage was high. She's been really struggling out in the field. Yeah, but today she showed up for her team, and which is great for LSU, but dangerous for other teams because, again, we're seeing LSU begin to gel towards
Right.
the end of regular season, which is the most important part. Not the most important, but one of the most important parts throughout the journey of your college hoop journey.
Right.
So to see her really show up like this today, if she continues and remains consistent, teams are gonna have a problem, I think, with LSU if everybody on LSU shows up.
Facts. Facts. I love that she had a. I feel like this is a breakout game for her. Haley Van Lith, you had a breakout game today. Like Shantae said, she looked comfortable out there, made the right decisions today.
Yeah,
And I was excited for her. She was looking like Louisville Van Lith.
yeah, for sure. She was looking like herself. She did great today. Rakia Jackson also, I mean, in the second quarter, they stopped feeding her. Tennessee stopped feeding Rakia Jackson the ball in the second quarter. But she still ended up with 16 points and 9 rebounds. Rakia is just an overall great player. We talk about her all the time. Wonderful player, great player. But she just they couldn't do enough to stop LSU today. But it was a great game nonetheless. And again, shouts to Haley Van Lith for coming in and showing up like we knew like we knew you would. We just didn't know when. So
Yes.
great
Yes.
game today.
Roll it into the SEC tournament. Like, do it. Do it.
Yeah. And then just wanted to just kind of roll down the list of some of the scores today. Virginia upset Louisville 73-68. That's a big win for Virginia.
Yeah.
Again, going into conference play. Iowa beat Illinois today 101-85. Caitlin Clark ended with 24. Iowa State beat Maryland 79-66. The North Carolina and Virginia Tech game, this was highly anticipated for Brittany and I. However, Virginia Tech left with the win, 74-62, but Kitley ended with 34 points today.
That girl
34-6.
she be
And
getting
Deja Kelly left with 29. Just also want to say that, but go ahead, Brittany.
Kitley. First and foremost, I'm saying I'm throwing it out there. Kitley, I want to get in the kitchen with you. From try and get in the kitchen with you, Kitley, because I heard you could throw it down. Okay, that's first and foremost. But another monster game for Kitley, the fadeaway queen on the block. She is not flashy, man. She just does what she needs to do. Man, that's, I feel like she got to get more physical, but as of late, I've been seeing Kim been bumping. She's been down there bumping, and she's also gotten much better this year at being able to read faster when she gets the ball on the post. So earlier in the season, I seen that she was hesitant, like when she was getting doubled.
Yeah.
She was making poor decisions, but now you can see her reading faster and making a play faster than the beginning of the season. So I love that she's evolved a little bit right there as well, but she's going to have to get a little bit stronger for me when she goes to the next level.
Yeah.
But her stats are sneaky, man. Like, they sneaky.
She got great footwork. That's why too. Great footwork. Fundamentally sound player.
Yeah.
Facts. So shouts to Kitley. Kansas State lost to Kansas, which again, Kansas State has been on a little bit of a slump.
Yeah.
Kansas State, I kept my eye on very early on in the season. I still am keeping my eye on them because I think that they have the potential to upset a few teams come tournament time.
Right.
But Ayoka Lee, on Kansas State, I need to tap in with her. She's a great player. She finished with 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks, but just couldn't get it done against Kansas. This is a big win for Kansas. And then Brittany mentioned earlier, Pittsburgh and Syracuse. Syracuse left with the win, 63-53. But let me be very clear. Pittsburgh was beating Syracuse for about 70 to 75% of the game.
Facts.
And shouts to Fair on Syracuse because she was the factor today. I mean, she oftentimes is the factor, but you saw it today. She came up with a lot of big buckets come third quarter, come fourth quarter to help Syracuse regain the lead. I mean, the lead throughout the last few minutes in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, and she ended with 23 points and 4 steals. She also surpassed Brittany Griner for the NCAA D1 scoring leaders. So she's now 5th. That's a big deal.
Come on, Deja Fair need more coverage, y'all. Like,
she does. She really does.
I don't think she's getting the coverage that she deserves. And what's crazy to me is, like, it's not like she's on a whack team. She's on a team that's ranked.
Yeah.
She's on a ranked team, right? And she's the leading scorer, and she just surpassed Brittany Griner on the list. Like, I know Caitlin Clark just surpassed Kelsey Plum, but Deja Fair also deserves some coverage for what she's doing. Like, this is
absolutely
unbelievable. Like, you see, today was also their senior day. Like, the Carrier Dome was packed to watch Syracuse women play. Usually it's just that way for the men.
Right.
That joint was packed today. Okay? To see her become the 5th on the list and surpass Brittany Griner, but it was spectacular to watch her today. She's a bucket getter, man.
No, she is. She's a walking bucket. She is.
She really is. Like,
if you haven't watched Syracuse play, you should. She's definitely the leader of that team, and huge congratulations to her. So getting on that list is just crazy in itself. It's a lot of buckets that she's been putting up throughout the course of her career at Syracuse, and that is a major feat. And yeah, I agree with Brittany. There needs to be more coverage. on her. But nonetheless, we giving you your flowers, and you've been doing an amazing job. So,
Right.
and then South Carolina, they beat Kentucky. They beat up on Kentucky, 103-55, and yeah. So
Duke upset
I
NC
mean,
State. I just looked at the score.
oh, I forgot about that. Yes, they did. Duke has listen. That's what I mean by you by saying like you don't know who is going to show up and win. Duke just upset
Right.
somebody last week,
They
and I'm
beat
trying to remember. No,
Syracuse.
I was about to. You took the words out of my mouth. It just came to my head. Like they upset Syracuse last week. So
Yeah.
listen, you don't know until you know because these women are hooping. I don't ranked or not. Let me be very clear. And something
Right.
that Brittany brought up, and again, we all know these things, but like, come tournament time, it doesn't matter what number is next to your name, what rank number is next to your team's name. It does not matter because all you gotta do is live to fight another day. All
That's
you
it.
need to do is get a W to get to the next round.
That's it.
I mean, on the men's side, and Brittany plays, I play around, and Brittany plays around all day, but I can't stand Purdue, the men's team, because they'll be ranked number one. They're always ranked like top five. And you
Yeah.
go come tournament time, Purdue always gets knocked out by like
Yeah.
I think they got knocked out by Florida Gulf Coast last year or something like that. I was just like, dang, like I say, I say all that to say, it really does. That does not matter come tournament time, and so that is why I'm super excited for this year's tournament because with these teams, these women's teams, you really don't know. You do not know, and these teams are still being refined.
Right.
So we still have some time to see who's really like top dog. But I don't even know if there's really gonna be a top dog. We may have top dogs
Right.
that are just gonna have to scrap it out, and we're gonna have to see what
Plural.
happens.
Plural. So
Top
yeah,
dogs.
it's the NCAA every week. You watch the conference tournament's about to start, y'all. So tap in.
Yeah, tap in. We'll be giving y'all the rundown.
Oh, one last thing that I seen for college basketball. Cameron Brink is still undecided on whether she's gonna declare for the draft.
It's tough, right? That gotta be a tough decision. I mean, Paige is staying. Now that we're talking about it,
Right?
Paige Beckers from UConn, she's staying another year.
Yeah.
Uh, I didn't know Cameron was undecided.
Yeah, she made the announcement
Announcement.
today after they won because they clinched the Pac-12 regular season championship, I believe.
Mm.
So she said it. She was reading from her phone. She was like, "Well, the WNBA, I'm undecided," and everybody was like, "Huh?"
She don't know,
like,
y'all.
cause Steph Curry's mom is like her godmother.
Yeah, yeah.
So she was sitting next to her when she was like, huh? And she asked mom, she was like, "What she said?" She said,
What's she?
"Undecided,
Yeah, I don't know yet.
undecided."
I'm still looking into my options. I don't know. Well, I mean, I hope she does what she feels is right for her
Yeah,
journey, and it's amazing that they have the opportunity to even like,
have an
I'm gonna
option.
stay, I'm gonna go, and then I saw the tweet from Angel Reese talk about should I stay, should
Right,
I go?
right,
I
right,
don't
right.
know. I said, oh, she trying to be funny, but but yeah, I mean, it's a big decision. It's a
It
big
is.
decision. Um, but I hope that they make the best decision for themselves and that they tune out the noise and go with their gut
Go with your
and decide
intuition, y'all.
yeah, and go with what's best for y'all. So either way, we'll be excited to see you on whatever journey we decide to embark on.
Facts.
Yeah. So NIL news, name, image, and likeness news for the week. Again, Brittany mentioned very early in this live that high school student athletes and then also collegiate student athletes are now able to monetize on their likeness. And so we cover this every week so that not only student athletes are in the know, but everyone else is in the know because it's important. And so the NCAA president, Charlie Baker, essentially, he's against limiting the amount of times that collegiate athletes can enter the transfer portal and transfer. Now, when Brittany and I were in college, if you transferred, you had to sit out a year.
Right.
And like now thinking back to that, that's really crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, you had to sit out a year if you decided to transfer. And right now, they put there's certain rules in place as to when you can enter the transfer portal, and then certain um, elements that need to be met to show that you could play immediately.
Mm.
I'll say that. And so, nonetheless, Charlie Baker this week was very vocal in saying that he does not want to see college athletes lose their autonomy when it comes to transfers, and that he feels that the state of the transfer portal is reflective of young adults transferring more in general, regardless of whether they are athletes or just students. He actually said that regular students actually transfer a lot more than student athletes, and
Mm.
that this is just part of the journey, and this is just young adults basically being young adults. Um, and he got some pushback, and we've reported on this a couple a couple of episodes ago, just how specifically on the football side and even the basketball side, many college coaches are frustrated because they're like, well, if you're allowing these student athletes to transfer and enter the transfer portal whenever they want to, this is ultimately going to affect, number one, how I'm coaching, number two, just the team itself. Like, how am I supposed to really build with this team when at any point in time these student athletes can leave?
Right.
And you had some SEC assistant coaches, primarily in football, just basically going in and calling this a show. I'm not gonna curse, but
Mm.
you know, saying that this is gonna ruin sports or ruin college sports. But then you had some, other coaches and other individuals that participate in college sports say that, you know, coaches are able to leave and quit whenever they want. So why can't, not necessarily quit, but go to another school and take on other opportunities? So why can't student athletes do the same?
Right.
Um, so yeah, I think that that's something to really highlight. I think it's great that Charlie Baker, he's more like, he's not as old school as previous presidents of the NCAA. And it's
Right.
kind of nice to see that he's siding on the side of the student athletes being able to kind of do whatever they feel like, not necessarily feel like doing, but feel right doing without limitations. Um, and I'm very interested to see or hear from other people that may be watching the live. What's your take on this? Do you feel like, or do you feel that student athletes should be able to transfer whenever they feel like transferring, or should there be rules, more solid rules regarding the transfer portal? Again, there are current rules around the transfer portal, but a lot of college coaches have been asking for more stricter rules and boundaries regarding the transfer portal because of just the ups and downs and the highs and lows of kids coming and then kids leaving.
Right. I mean, this is the we in a new age, bro. Like,
We are.
like
I can understand both sides of the coin. I can see how that could be a little bit frustrating. Not even a little bit, probably a lot of it. Especially if you don't have a program thriving.
Right, right. You gotta figure out and tweak some strategies here. Like obviously the kids keep transferring, and we got the one and dones, but how do you adapt and adjust as a university? Because that's what it's coming down to at the end of the day. Like, yeah, this is an advantage for like schools that have, you know, got the money, got the
Right.
bag. Come
Right.
here, come to our school. We can break you off. That's an advantage. Now you as a school got to figure out how you're going to be able to compete against these big schools.
Yeah. Marketing, PR. It's a business.
It's a business
It's
at this
really a
point.
business
You're going to
now.
have to figure out if y'all going to need a general manager for NIL. You're going to
Yeah.
figure out if y'all going to need a collective, or based on what's going to happen with this bill, is the NCAA vamoosh, because it's about to be really crazy. The NCAA, all your power is about to be.
Oh, it's already dwindling by the day.
It's
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 dwindling
it's
by the day. They picking apart
dwindling
the
mightily.
NCAA. Yeah, schools are picking apart. Schools and players
Yeah.
are literally picking apart the NCAA. There's
Hmm.
not countless, but there's several different active lawsuits happening right now
Right.
against the NCAA on different levels, from the labor relations board, and
Dartmouth.
yeah, and then players themselves. It's just countless lawsuits happening right now, and it's really going to change college sports as we know it. Many of
Yeah.
these cases are going to change how college sports look and how this is going to be. Yeah, just it's going to be different in the next year or two. And it's an exciting time because we're really seeing these student athletes have a voice, and I think it's been a long time coming. And
Right.
the NCAA has been making literally billions of dollars for I don't know how long. And
Right.
many of these student athletes, actually all of these student athletes before 2020, 2021, were not getting a cut of anything, of
Right. I want
nothing.
my I want my NIL back pay.
Right. Like, we didn't get anything. That's not sounding salty. It's just the fact. The truth of the matter is, like I said, the NCAA has been making billions of dollars off of these young men and women
Facts.
throughout the course of many years.
Yes.
And all we get out of this is our college degree. And which is great. And hopefully some of us don't have, loans, but then some of us do.
Yeah.
And we're leaving school in debt. And again, the NCAA has made billions of dollars from our likeness, and they can use that footage and whatever else that we provide them with for them 4 to 5 years forever
Right. Right.
without us getting a red
So
cent. There's no
look
royalties.
here.
There's no nothing. You don't get a payment.
There's no royalties, but my picture's still up at the Applebee's in the same town that's
And
at
it's gonna
Rutgers.
sit there.
It's gonna sit there forever.
Did they ask you for your permission?
No, it was
Because
just
they don't need to, because they went through your school.
right.
it's just yeah. It's so I say like to say the NCAA is changing, y'all. College sports as we know it is changing. We'll keep y'all posted with all new developments, but it's a lot changing and it's an exciting time. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Moving on, I saw a lot of people bashing Angel Reese this week because her trademark Bayou Barbie, the filing was denied. First
I
of all,
mean,
whoever
that's
bashed her
business,
is corny, huh?
right? That's business.
That's business, and y'all are corny, and I don't understand why y'all would do that. And this happens actually every day.
Right.
Trademark applications get denied every day.
Right.
Um, and just so y'all know, just because it's denied doesn't mean that it can't eventually be registered. Like it got denied, and if Angel Reese's attorneys actually wanted to fight that and write a brief and submit it to what is known as the United States Patent and Trademark Office, they could actually submit a brief and try to get the trademark registered.
Mm.
But in this case, they figured it wouldn't be smart. And I agree, right? Because Barbie, obviously, the name Barbie is owned, the trademark is owned by Mattel. Who wants to battle with Mattel? Mattel is a multi-million, probably billion-dollar company. I'm not beefing with Mattel to own Bayou Barbie.
Right.
Because
Really.
truth of the matter is, she would probably lose that battle.
Right.
So it was smart for her attorneys to advise her, hey, look, I know you got some merch right now, and you really wanted to move forward with this trademark, but I think we should go in another direction. Because, you know, going up against Mattel is going to cost you a pretty penny.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, like, you being an attorney, do you advise student athletes to wait until they trademark something to try to sell merch?
No, if you have a legitimate, and this is not legal advice, but oftentimes if you have like an idea for a trademark and you haven't discussed anything with an attorney yet, or you're in the like in the beginning stages of talking to an attorney about potentially trademarking a logo, a slogan, whatever,
Right.
you can put the little TM next to like a logo to show that you have intentions of moving forward to register the trademark.
Hmm.
Um, that's at minimum that's what you can do.
Okay.
But I would advise that you speak to an attorney so that they could do a search and tell you the pros and cons of potentially moving forward with trying to register the potential mark, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're using a mark. And I guess this is a not a con, but like you can enter the danger zone a little bit when you do use a mark or a logo that may be owned by someone else that you have no clue, is owned by somebody else.
Right.
They can come after you. They can send a cease and desist letter to you, essentially telling you to chill out and stop using our mark. Like, chill out, stop using the mark, or else I'm gonna, move forward with potentially suing you. But nonetheless, like, holler at an attorney if you have an idea for a
Right.
logo or for a trademark or for whatever, a slogan, a trademark. That's the best thing you could do. And in this case, that is what Angel did. She consulted her attorney. They decided to move forward anyway. It got denied. It sounds like, they advised her it's best to leave this alone. And I agree, this was the best thing she could do, is just to leave it alone. And I just didn't like the fact that people was clowning her, but ignorance is bliss, and that's what happens. People don't know, but this happens every day.
Yeah. People just don't know. Shantae is in the legal realm, so she knows and is adjacent to everything that's going on there. So she's a credible source to kind of hear from. So yeah, make sure you're talking to attorneys. Like, if you even have the opportunity to have a conversation about NIL, like, that's a blessing in itself.
Yeah,
To be able to negotiate with a school, but make sure you have an attorney on your team, because it's just the right thing to do.
yeah. You just don't want to make a expensive legal mistake and then have to like really clean it up.
Right.
And I know a lot of people be like, "Well, attorneys are expensive," and that's true. Some of us are expensive, but
But
it's
it's
because we do. It's a lot of work that goes
right.
into doing these things. And would you rather just pay an attorney to do it right the first time, or would you want to, at the end have to pay even more money to clean up the mess that is made? And that's what happens oftentimes. Like, we have an idea, we get excited. It's like, ooh, let me move forward with this. But it's like, I didn't, dot my I's and cross my T's, and now I gotta go back and clean this up. So, long story less long, stop clowning Angel Reese. This happens every day, and her brand is still gonna flourish off of her name. I think she's probably gonna move forward with just really pushing her name and making that like a, her brand instead of the Bayou Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
But shouts to her nonetheless.
Right. Hey y'all, we an hour in. Probably got about 20 minutes left. So please, like I said, if you're watching right now, please subscribe to the YouTube page. Follow us on whatever platform you're on right now. Twitter, please follow us.
Thank you.
Facebook, you on Facebook? Go to our YouTube page right now, please. We
Please.
need as many subscribers as we can so that we can show the data. Instagram, y'all seen the real. Instagram been hating on us, y'all. So they've been shadow banning. Shadow banning. If
Yeah.
you've been trying to build a brand, you understand what that means. Okay? Basically purposely and intentionally not giving your audience views and showing them your stuff. So
Right.
please make sure that you subscribe to our page. That'll help us greatly and dearly to move our mission forward. But we have a couple more NIL stories for you, and then we'll move into some tech and then finish up with culture. So go ahead, Roxanne.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to take this because I know how you feel about EA Sports,
EA
and
Sports. EA
that's
Sports.
crazy because you sound like the person that actually says that on the game. I just let you cook. I'll let you cook.
Yeah, so we've brought this to the table a couple of times talking about EA Sports trying to give the student athletes a one-time flat fee payment, and it has kind of fallen through. So CLC Launch has created a NIL opt-in program
Yeah.
for EA Sports college football, which I think is, obviously they're trying to figure it out. Like this is something that's new, right? Like
Yeah. They
so,
they created the platform so that these college football players could opt into their name, image, and likeness being used for EA Sports college football. I think 2024
right,
or is it 2025? Either way, the last time EA Sports created a college football game was back in 2013. So
mm,
it's been a long time. So that means that this is highly anticipated. And excuse me, it is EA Sports College Football 2025. Um, so this is
right,
highly anticipated.
right,
We covered this very early on, a few episodes ago, quite a few episodes ago. And these college football players are being offered, all of them. It doesn't matter if they're star players of their team.
all
It doesn't, yeah,
Americans,
it doesn't matter.
right,
Every football player who opts in on CLC for their name, image, and likeness to be used in this video game will be
right,
given $600. That is it. They're going to be given $600. Um, and they'll get a copy of the game, which is probably going to be valued at around $70. Now, something that Brittany brought up episodes ago
right,
was, dang, what about royalties? Because $600 is not enough. This game is going to be part of history, as is every other EA Sports game.
right,
And I'm with her. I agree with Brittany. Um, we don't know the ins and outs of the agreement that these student athletes signed, so there very well may be language in there covering you know royalty payments.
right,
According to the article, the newest article that we reviewed, there are no updates or information we can provide in regards to royalties. Um, but if you didn't watch Michael Jordan video movie that they had with who was the star in it? Was it Matt? It wasn't Matt Damon.
Was he in it though? Yeah, it was Matt Damon.
Okay, look at me, cause I'm
Yeah,
bad with
she's
actors,
really
y'all.
usually bad with like names.
So with Matt Damon, and I think it was either on Netflix or Hulu. No, Amazon. It was shown on Amazon. But Michael Jordan's mom just being having the foresight when it comes to these sneakers that they, again wanted to use Jordan's name, image, and likeness for. She was already thinking about royalty. She was thinking about, I need to make sure that Michael's future was secured, and
Right.
that every time a sneaker is sold, he getting some dollars.
Right.
And I hope that that's the case for these student athletes, and I hope that these student athletes and parents are thinking about that, not even just for this game, but in general, like thinking long term, not just for right now. It's just really important to have the foresight in this college and high school
Atmosphere.
atmosphere
Come
to
on.
think ahead. You have to think about securing your future. There's no
Look.
better time than now to do that with all of these opportunities. You have to think ahead. And so I'm with you,
Right.
Brittany. I would, yeah, I would want royalties from this game. $600
Yeah.
is not enough.
It's not enough. And like even when we discuss this, like um that $600 is already gone. We talking about a student student athlete. Like that $600 is gone. Me, I'm going up the street to the local sneaker and clothing store and going crazy with that $600 check. Like just to be honest, just
Yeah.
be real. But my thing on the lower scale end of that, I would have at least liked for EA Sports to potentially, if you're not gonna give me a royalty, okay, but maybe potentially gift me with some stock, because right now I understand that we are also investors as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because me, I wouldn't mind taking that $600 and maybe like allocating a little bit of that $600 to probably potentially buying
That's what I'm
EA stock.
saying. Or an option play. Let's get some more money out of it. Let me make some
Shantae
more
bringing the
money.
options plays into that.
Give me some more money.
Okay, I like that too. You can get some
Something.
stock. Like EA Sports stock right now, I believe is 170 something
Mhm.
per share right now, if I'm not mistaken. Like that's an appreciating asset.
Right.
Okay, that $600 is long gone, right? It's long gone already. But if I could take some of that $600 and potentially maybe buy like 2 shares of EA stock, and then obviously do whatever I want with the rest of the money, you will be so appreciative for it, because now we done got you in the investor mindset already,
Right.
because you're like, oh, stocks. I'm telling you, once you become an investor, it's addicting. It's addicting like anything else. You gonna be watching the charts all day, trying to build your portfolio. Okay, it is a must at this point. At this point in time, in this economy, all of us gotta have multiple streams of income. Even the student athletes. I don't even care if y'all getting the NIL bag, because you're setting yourself up for the future, right? Shantae talked about royalties. Royalties, parents, think about that. I got royalties now for life with this book. It's on Amazon. It's gonna sit on Amazon. Where Amazon going? It ain't going nowhere no time soon. It's only expanding, right? Like, make sure that you setting yourself up while you in it. Okay?
Yeah.
While y'all
That's
doing what
important.
y'all have to do, yeah, look, I know kids right now at Division 1 schools getting paid 40 grand a month.
Baby.
You don't need to live on 40 grand a month at
40
college,
G's. 40 G's.
right? You don't need to live on that right now. You can put all of that away and you can invest. You can
You
start
can definitely
investing.
invest there. You can definitely
So
invest
by the time you get out of school, you set up.
for life. Whether you continue
We
playing your sport or
right.
not, you got some motion. Because that's what motion. You want to talk about motion?
I guess that's just emotion. Like,
That's
come on. Are y'all crazy? Yeah, take
yo.
advantage. Take advantage. Take advantage.
Yeah.
Yes, parents,
So
I'm telling you to write a book for your kid should write a book. We should all know our experiences because our experiences are
somebody said that.
parallel.
Somebody
Huh?
asked. Somebody asked about the book.
No, I'm just saying in
Oh, I thought
general.
it was common sense. I'm about to say you should. I mean, it'd be great.
Look, think about it. Now I see why the authors, why I see why J.K. Rowling wrote so many books.
Yeah, because it can also be, repurposed derivatives, right? Like derivative work. We got
Come
movies. We
on.
got merch. We got a store. They have a whole Harry Potter store in Manhattan that people love to go to, and that's all because of a book.
Come on.
And JK is getting some money from all of that
Every way.
in
In
every way.
every
Think about
way.
that. It's just derivatives on top of the derivatives on top of derivatives.
Right.
So, long story less long, have the foresight. That's all. Just think ahead.
The foresight, please, because look at this. Shout outs to Tennessee. Who was it in Virginia?
Yeah. No. Tennessee. I just know Tennessee right now.
I feel like it was also Virginia
It may be
that
Virginia.
came in on this, but look at this. NCAA going down. NCAA can't enforce NIL rules after a judge grants an injunction. A federal judge in Tennessee granted a preliminary injunction Friday afternoon that prohibits the NCAA from punishing any athletes or boosters for negotiating name, image, and likeness deals during the recruiting process while they are in the while they're in the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
That's whoa.
No, that is whoa. First of all, let's be clear. This has been going on
For decades.
even before
Decades.
NIL was a
Decades.
thought. We had boosters and everybody else talking to student athletes, paying them under the table to come to their
Mm-hmm.
school. We already know that.
Right.
Nonetheless, last year, actually, Brittany and I covered Miami women's basketball team because the Cavender twins were
Right.
actually under that umbrella of doing something. They didn't do anything, but a booster for Miami took out the twins for dinner. A
Right.
whistleblower
Mm-hmm.
snitched, and
Hating.
so yeah, they snitched, and so the Miami women's basketball head coach was suspended for a few games at the very beginning of the season because of the current rules of the NCAA. So yeah, now Brittany is essentially saying what she said, which is now boosters and anybody else affiliated with these schools. Well, excuse me, with Tennessee, and I think also Virginia, like Brittany said, their boosters and just supporters can now talk to these student athletes and negotiate and really like try to reel them in to attend their school now with no
Right.
bounds.
Right. Like
So
I love this quote from the judge because it was like this was like a bar. Like when you at a battle rap and the dude makes a bar and you like, oh, this is how I felt when I read this. While the NCAA permits student athletes to profit off their NIL, it fails to show how the timing of when the student athlete enters such an agreement would destroy the goal of preserving amateurism.
because how
That's
does it?
right. How does
Yeah.
it? Now that
And
NIL's in
they didn't
play,
show it. The NCAA didn't prove it in court. Like, how does this affect like them being amateurs?
it don't.
It really don't. They still go. They go to whatever school they feel like going to. If they get paid or taken out to dinner, they still come to school. They attend classes. They have to
Right.
pass their classes. They have to meet their requirements to stay eligible. So it sounds like the NCAA again. Y'all hating and y'all want to create a monopoly.
Right.
Y'all are a monopoly. That's
Yeah.
why y'all getting hit with all these antitrust joints now. Like, so stop hating. You mad because now other people are able to eat other than you, and this is
Right.
me talking to the NCAA.
Right.
Stop hating. That's hate.
Yeah.
That's hate. That's hate. That's hate. That's hate.
Get that
That's,
hate out your blood. You
you
ain't got hate
know.
in their blood.
So we got Tennessee and Virginia, and so I'm pretty sure other states or other schools may follow in those footsteps too.
Yeah.
And again, the dismantling of the NCAA is crazy right now. It's looking real crazy for the NCAA, but I love to see it.
NCAA coming down like London Bridge
No,
is
for real. I
falling
love to
down.
see it. I love to see it. So yeah, that's what we have for NIL news was really spicy this week, as you can see. Yeah, it was spicy, but glad y'all tuned in for that. So we're moving on to tech news. Brittany, you want to take it or?
Yo, invest, y'all. Okay, invest. Apple launching Apple Sports is really insane.
Nah,
But you
I'm
know
on to
why?
them. I'm on to them.
But you know
I'm
why?
on
It's
to them
because
like this.
they've been getting your data.
They begin data, but they also see what's happening in this betting world.
Right, right. So Shante comes back. Apple today introduced Apple Sports. Do y'all realize how monumental that is? A free app for iPhone that gives sports fans access to real-time scores, stats, and more. Designed for speed and simplicity, the app's personalized experience puts users' favorite leagues and teams front and center, featuring an easy-to-use interface designed by Apple. This is a game changer. So, like, I can watch everything that I want to in one place.
Yeah, you'll be able to get up to date everything. You'll get scores. You'll get player information,
I need
stats.
the stats. I
This
need the
is
stats.
great for them to launch their own betting sports
Right,
betting app. This is amazing if they want to partner, you know, with a betting app. So I'm keeping my eye on Apple when it comes to sports. I really do think they understand the power of sports betting right now. We've
right,
seen a major increase. I think uh who just boardroom I think posted today that New York is leading the charge in just sports betting. Like,
mm,
and I think we're in like the billions or something like that. And I could be wrong, but check out Boardroom on Instagram. They just posted something today, kind of getting that sports betting. But we're seeing an uptick in the amount of people that are participating on sports betting apps.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
and it's only gonna get wilder now that rules are changing in different states to allow people to bet. Um, this is a very hot topic right now, sports betting. So again, I won't be surprised if Apple launches their own sports betting app or they partner with somebody else to do it, or it's
right.
gonna get crazy.
Crazy. Y'all see how these companies continue to innovate and expand?
And just what I do like about Apple is that like they kind of like sit back and watch first. Like they sat back and watched just how sports betting has been like growing in
Right,
the
right,
past
right,
few
right,
months
right,
and then decided to drop this, which
right,
makes me think something else is coming. Y'all just been sitting and allowing other companies to do it and just see how it just checking out the scene first. That's kind of
right,
how I feel. Y'all been checking out
right.
the scene. But yeah, to your point, Brittany, just the innovative Apple,
Come on, y'all. Y'all better have Apple in your portfolio.
yeah, for sure.
Come on
And
now.
then now we on culture news. Thank you for tapping in with us, y'all. This is our last kind of topic, our overarching topic of the night. Culture news is where we cover movies, film, fashion, business. And so in this scenario, we got Victor Wembanyama. He is now the newest ambassador for Louis Vuitton.
Right,
That's a big deal, right? Obviously, Louis Vuitton, they're a company based out in France. We know Wemby is from France. So that connection was already there.
Test.
Now he's 7'4", so it's super hard for him to get close. And in this article, he talked. It was in GQ Sports. If you want to check it out, definitely check out the article. It's cool. He's always struggled finding fire clothes, dope clothes, because he's so tall.
Right.
But the night of him being drafted, he actually reached out to Louis Vuitton. His fire suit, that emerald looking green suit, was custom made by Louis Vuitton. And he was like, players in the past have, when it's draft night, especially for the NBA, they go all out.
Right.
You see like custom pieces, you see pieces that fit the era that the draft is happening in. And he mentioned that it was always his dream to kind of, have a fire fit for the draft. And he's like,
Right.
he feels like his suit was timeless because Louis Vuitton made it. And so this is a very full circle moment for him, for Louis Vuitton to reach out to him and wants to have him as their newest ambassador. And again, just thinking about the NBA and fashion and that relationship throughout the course of the league's history, it's just been a very close relationship. I immediately think of like Allen Iverson in
Right.
that era and how he caused a lot of chaos.
Right.
But fashion, hip hop, and basketball, that's a romance, a beautiful
Sure.
romance. And I love that he is, and when I say he I'm talking about Wimby, um, is just teaming up with his home brand and making
Right.
it look good. I saw the rollout. He looks good in the clothes. The rollout looks great. The marketing looks great.
Mm.
Definitely check it out. But this is big for him.
You know what I like to say? Obviously, this is all alignment, right? Wimby, like Shante says, from France. So to be able to partner with a nostalgic French brand like Louis Vuitton is, I guess, like a dream for him, right? Um, I would like to see more athletes partner with brands that are not so popular or brands that need a boost. Use your star power to
Hmm.
help these other brands. Like, I don't know why, like, we haven't seen someone partner with like Bevel, like the
Right.
beard company for like an NBA star. Like where is it? Like we have to be
Hopefully,
more
it's on the way.
right.
Yeah, hopefully.
I
But
just I just feel like we have to be more intentional with like the brands that we pick to kind of like uplift. Obviously, I don't want to see y'all in Balenciaga. Like Balenciaga don't need no more push. They they don't need any more push, at least from us.
and they
Like
nasty. But
right,
that's a topic for another day.
it's right. It's a lot of nasty stuff going on over there, but we'll put those things to the side just to be like this designer though.
Yeah.
This designer though. So I'm still wearing it though. It's designer.
Right. Right.
Be intentional about people that you're like stuff that you're doing. Like that's what I love. Like I would love to see somebody partner with Sia Collective. Like
Right.
partner with that man over there doing the work.
Right.
Okay? Like this dude is literally going over to China and showing you the process that he's going through. Like he's
Hmm.
showing you the fabrics. He's showing you the factories where your clothes are being made. All this stuff is being made by the people that you love. We got the same connects. Like he's telling you they're the same connects. The same Chinese factory that's making your Nike is making his clothes too.
Right.
Nike just had a head start.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah, you speaking
Okay,
fact.
so let's be more intentional about uplifting the designers and the brands that need to be uplifted, especially in our community. It is still Black History Month.
That
Just
is a
wanted to let you
fact.
know.
That's
Okay,
a fact.
thank you.
All right. No, that's a fact. And for the last topic, just really piggybacking off Brittany's mention of Bevel, we have LeBron James and Maverick Carter. You know, they own the Spring Hill Company and they are going to be launching a men's grooming line very soon. And they have partnered with a beauty brand by the name of Parlo or
Mm,
Lux. It's either one of those. I'm not too sure. But they created a 7 product collection of skin, hair, and beard care products, really inspired by their show, The Shop. So they're playing off of obviously the name of the show, The Shop, and now they're bringing products underneath that realm. And they're
okay,
doing this because they had a deep passion for just the barbershop experience and then just having those sports and all type of conversations in the barbershop. And so that is what motivated them to move forward with creating a product line just for men. And
right.
the line will be launching April 1st in Walmart in about 1,600 Walmarts actually. And
Hello.
all the products are going to be $10 or less.
Mm,
And the goal of the product is to give, personal care products to men. And again, we see LeBron James and all of these athletes really tapping into different streams of income, into things that they feel passionate about. And I think this is cool that
right,
LeBron James is now able to add this product, this line in his portfolio. That's
right,
crazy.
right,
And
right.
a big deal. And I hope that people understand that's a big deal. Like it's hard to sell a product. And it's hard to sell a product when you're an athlete and or artist. I
Right.
mean, we had this conversation about Beyonce. If not to bring Beyonce in it, but I am.
Okay.
She just launched her hair care line, her hair care line. And I'm sure it's gonna sell out. But I say the reason why I bring it up is to say that selling a product is hard. Whether you're Beyonce or LeBron James, you still
Right.
have to connect with the people.
Right.
And sometimes because you're an artist and or athlete, people tend to put you in a box and
Right.
only see you as a athlete and or artist, not realizing that you have different passions and things that you're interested in, but that has to resonate with the people. Um,
Right.
and so yeah, I just want people to understand that what LeBron James is doing is amazing and it's not to be taken lightly because it's hard to sell.
Right. So with that being said, you got to become comfortable being able to sell
Yeah,
products.
yeah,
You know, we don't learn. We're usually the product that they're selling.
yeah. Or
To
the
be
consumer, yeah, or the consumer. Like we're on the receiving end.
right.
Yep.
It is time for us to learn how to reverse the
Yeah.
tide.
And be okay with showcasing your personality, which is
Right.
why, not to go on a rant, but which is why I think Rihanna does so well. Rihanna is an artist, but we've seen so much of her personality throughout the years that we feel
Yes.
like we know her. She's
Right.
like a homegirl of ours. So
Right.
if she's selling something, it's like, damn, Rihanna got it.
Right.
Rihanna cool. I feel comfortable buying her product. No
Right.
shade to Beyonce.
Right.
Beehive, don't come at me. But I am interested in seeing like how her product does. Like she's had clothing, a clothing brand in the past, House of Darion. That
Right.
didn't go that well.
Yeah.
It didn't resonate like that. And then also she's had
The collaboration with Adidas. I mean,
Adidas. That didn't go. I don't think it went how they wanted it to go.
right.
That's no shade to Beyonce because Beyonce is Beyonce.
Right.
She's one of them ones, if not the one. Let me be very clear in saying that.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
yes, we have to learn how to sell, and we have to learn how to be okay with showing our personality, showing who you are, being
Right.
yourself, so that it has to resonate with people. Um, and that's a part of just marketing, just branding and marketing. You have to be able to showcase yourself and sell your product. And it's hard. That's what I'm saying. All in all, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to do. And it shouldn't be taken lightly, even as a consumer. So when you see somebody doing something like that or selling something, you gotta respect it, because it is hard. It is difficult. It is hard. Even right, bringing selling a book, even for LeBron, even for these big time people, it's difficult because you want it to hit. So that's my 2 cents. I'm off my soapbox.
No, I love that. But like Shantae said, this is the reality of things. It is very hard to sell things. Um, and if you want the real deal, Holyfield, Groundwork 29. This is my, like Shantae said, it's time for us to showcase our personality. It's time for us to showcase where we come from, why we the way we are. This book kind of encompasses all of that. It's my family story. It's my story when I played with Shantae, when we were coming up as developing student athletes, right? This is my story, my time in college, what it was looking like. Like, I even put a copy of the schedule that I had my freshman year just to give you insight into what student athletes go through, like what the
Yeah.
schedule is looking
Yeah.
like how important and integral time management really, really is. Okay? Like, everything is encompassed in this manual here, right? And then I got it stamped by a legend. I got it stamped by my coach, C. Vivian
Right.
Stringer. If you know anything about C. Vivian Stringer, you know that lady is a legend, and she put in 50 years into the game of basketball. 50. Okay? Um and just to tell y'all, I'm gonna just put it out there. We're doing a March Madness series, like we did last year. Last year we did the Women's History Month.
This year we're
But
gonna do it on the 9450.
this year we're honoring March Madness and some people who have been in March Madness. And I just got to say, we got a real heavy hitter that hasn't gotten their just
We
due
got
yet.
a
Like,
legend.
we got a legend that's coming on to talk to us, because she was just at the forefront of what, like, women's sports was. Okay, so I'm very excited. Please tap in with us. That's why I'm telling y'all to subscribe to our YouTube. We got a lot of stuff coming our way. So please make sure y'all tapping in with us. We love doing this with y'all. We love that y'all come back every week and give us your time and appreciation. Obviously, it's 8:30 right now. I know y'all got to get y'all kids to sleep, because I do. And I know y'all got to get ready for the week, because
Yeah.
Monday is tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
But again, thank you guys for coming in and tapping in with us. Again, follow 21 Titles on all social media platforms. Please follow the 9450. That's where we podcast at. We have an episode coming up talking about the WNBA CBA that is planned. So please watch out for that. And follow me, Wellness Brit, on follow Shantae, Tay Gets It Done, on
Yes.
all platforms.
Yes.
We're always doing something that is within the realm of the student athlete development. So shout out, go get that book, Groundwork 29. It's available on Amazon, also
Please do.
available on groundwork29.com. So love y'all. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll see y'all next week.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.